Hello, this is Lisa Russ.
And Misty Lord.
And who's that?
It's Jennifer.
You still think we're all psychic? This is We're All Psychic podcast.
I still do think we're all psychic.
That is wonderful. I'm Lisa Russick, and that's Misty Lord, and this is Jennifer Love, and we are starting this podcast. So this is the one where we are planning on having listeners call in if you would like to. And you can't hear us right now. And in the replay, when you are listening to this in the future, see, I'm psychically projecting right now that in the future, the listeners will be listening to this and they will hear 3 callers. I think 3 people will call in, or I messed up and I have the wrong meeting numbers put in the event page on Facebook. But I don't think so because I tested it and it worked. But not with this meeting, with the meeting that was the other one. And that's why I think it's a little kind of screwy. But so in the meantime, to see if anyone calls in, we thought we'd ask each other for advice about this Valentine's Day, about things going on in our lives, and maybe Misty will be personal for the first time. You're really personal a lot, but about your home life, your love life, you are not personal. And keep it all secret. You look at her shirt. Okay, we were talking earlier about listeners and watchers. This is a video podcast on Spotify. It is Jennifer Loves Love Series podcast again. And I have a red Valentine's Day shirt. Look at her shirt, Jennifer Loves, and look at Misty's though. She said, I'm out of style. I'm not doing it. And then look at her. It says kiss. I love it.
Yes.
So of all the people here, I think I'm probably the one who needs the most advice. And maybe not, though. Maybe surprisingly, I'm not. Because, I've been in long marriages or one. And, things do change a lot in a 10, 15-year marriage. You and Justin have been married for 16 years, 17, 18 years now, right? 18 or together?
17. We've been together for a longer time. We've been married for 17 years.
Okay. So, yeah, because I was thinking Bella is 17. So I figured that would be around when that happened.
Yeah. We've been together for about 22 years.
That's something that you have all the lessons that we can all learn from, I would guess, if you made it, because you have made it work that long and he adores you. I can see it, and we don't talk about Misty's feelings because she is Miss Mystique.
Oh, and
Jennifer Love, her situation was, we want to let the listeners know where your situation is at right now.
Yeah. I moved in with my boyfriend about 6 months ago, and we've been together 2.5 years now. Yeah.
Oh, and there's that dog. We got our Frankie. Is that Frank barking, or is that?
You know it.
That's Frank. Frank, the mascot, is here. He had to say, "Hey, there's a man in the room."
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, be polite.
Get him out.
So that's my situation. Is I broke up with the boyfriend, and it's over. And I'm attempting dating apps, and I've met people, and it's interesting and it's weird because Jennifer showed me that one certain person I really like talking to, there were red flags. So I called him on. I didn't call him on it like you're at red flags, but I kind of did. I was like, I got all hysterical because I'm Irish. The Irish hysteria came out, and I was like, oh my god, I'm scared. And, then he sent me his number and his picture, and I was like, okay, this is normal. And he told me that he does know people around here and, stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I feel so much relief.
Wait, he doesn't know anybody around here?
I thought he didn't. I'd asked him who he knew, and he never answered that specific question, but I ask a lot of questions. You guys know that. I asked like 6 questions in one breath.
No, you need to.
Yeah, and he does too. And we talk about music mostly. And most of the people I'm connected on there with, I've given readings to about the people they're still in love with.
Oh, no.
No, it's great. I don't have a problem with that. Because
but you're not going to connect with them.
Well, no, you can connect as friendships. I just put chatting on mine. You can select on Facebook. You can select chatting or casual or long term, and I don't know, or something like that. Let's see what happens. I just put chatting at first, just as and it's just very strange, Jennifer, how you talked about that. And we could spend the whole podcast talking about dating apps and how you're psychic. You get really psychic, don't you, when you start doing this?
I don't know if you get really psychic.
Well, I get like this feeling about it.
Yeah, well, sure, you get feelings really about strong. It, but I think your emotions can cloud your intuition. So I think when people who are people who are very psychic, like you and me and Misty, if she was dating, they, we can tend to think, well, yeah, I'm very intuitive, so I should know who's a good person, who's a bad person. But because we're so emotionally involved and so heavily invested in it, your intuition's not always on point.
True.
Yeah, I
That's
totally
very true.
agree with
Well,
that.
I didn't have much
Yeah.
investment in it until you said that. And then I got really scared. And that showed me that there was some investment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was enjoying just talking to
You're
people.
always invested. Yeah. Yeah.
But how,
It
and
doesn't
like, I was a
matter.
little more
Yeah.
invested than I thought I was because, it just surprised me that I had that kind of
Which is-
reaction. I was like, hey, you, are you real?
Fine. Yeah. I think that's fine. Yeah. And I'm glad you pointed that out. Like, a red flag isn't, oh my gosh, I have to abandon this completely. It's, oh, I need to be cautious.
Yes. And I
need to
did
see
want to
what-
abandon it. And I had to like pull myself back
Yeah.
from that and say, let me know what your side of the story is here. And he was right, but he wrote back about 10, 15 minutes later. He's like, oh, no.
Yeah,
That's not what's going on. I understand. He said he
Wait, what was the
understood.
red
It's
flag?
a warning, right?
Well,
It's
he didn't have a
warning.
profile picture. It was the moon. Of course, it's the moon. And
that's a warning. Yeah,
and his other pictures were not of him. And he said he lived in a nearby town. And I asked him at one point, but like you guys, I just said this earlier, I ask a lot of questions at once. And I think I asked him a couple other questions in that paragraph. Like, do you know anybody in the area that we might know the same people, but we just never went there? And I was like, that's strange. And he did say, he'd say, send me, but I didn't see another thing. He said, I'll send you my number if you ask for it. And I had to ask for it, but I didn't see that part.
Okay.
He reiterated.
Because you said he wouldn't give me his number.
No, he didn't. It's not. He wouldn't. No,
red
he was like, he's like, I'll give you my number, but he never did. And I was like, well, why doesn't he? And then he said, well, I will give you my number, but you haven't asked for it. And then I looked back up there. I was like, oh yeah, he did say that. So it's like word for word, just very. I gotta gotta pay attention to these words and
not skip ahead.
I do that. I do skip ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird because I just, when I saw that picture, his name is the same as my ex's. So I thought it was my ex. And I was just like, but I was also drawn to it. And it was a little weird. But also the other people I've spoken with are all musicians. That's really where I tend to connect with the people on the Facebook dating app. And I did do some of the dating app on the Pattern, Misty. And that was interesting. So if the Pattern listeners, if you don't know what that is, it's like an astrology app that, it's about you and your friends and your relationships, and you can run bonds with people, but they also have a dating section. And yeah, it's interesting. You can meet people through their, they match you with people that astrologically they think you're compatible with. And one person I got along with really well, but he's in Utah. And then another person was in San Diego. I got along with him, but it's just interesting. And what the one guy from San Diego said, you're very different from the other girls I meet on those dating apps. He said most of them want to like have one night stands right away, like the minute we start talking. And I was like, really?
That's weird.
Wow.
He was really hesitant to talk to me. He didn't talk to me for like a week. And then he finally was like, well, I guess it's okay to talk to you, even though you're in Alabama. Because I told my brother lives in San Diego, so.
The experience of men on dating apps is very different than the experience of women on dating apps, because from what I've heard from men is that a lot of the women are approaching them as paid sex workers. So they they approach them, and then after a bit they ask them for money for sex. So, which that's a job.
A lot of guys would say yes, probably. I don't know,
and some would, yeah. But some men are not there for that.
No,
so like they get angry, and they're like,
yeah, you like led me on.
I want to date someone. I'm not here for sex, or I'm not here for a sex worker. So yeah, some men get very frustrated by that. And then a lot of profiles are also bots. They're not actually real people.
What does that mean?
Tinder and Bumble and apps like that, they put up fake profiles and have AI chat to the men to make them feel successful in the dating app. Like, oh, this beautiful woman's talking to me.
Oh.
And she's so articulate.
Oh, she
in
really
this
likes
vast
me.
tapestry
This is
of
cool.
cosmic mastery.
Yeah. So, and like they get frustrated because like, oh, she won't meet up with me because like it's just a bot, it's kind of like it's trained to like, keep you
Meet
at
him
arm's
on.
length because it's not a real
That's
person.
wrong.
That is
I
wrong.
know.
Wrong.
It is wrong, and I don't feel like these dating apps should be doing that kind of stuff.
No, I don't either.
You're
No,
not really
that's wrong.
helping things at all. But
No.
they want to keep the men engaged and on the app, so they do that, because there's like twice as many men as women on the app. So it's a very competitive environment for the men. So that's why they put the bots on there.
No, I don't like that.
I don't like that either. That's weird.
It's not nice.
It's not cool at all. That's really people's feelings, and they're just wanting to make money off them to pull out the credit card.
Well, it makes the men very cautious. Like, are you real? Like,
yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because it's like, it's strange. The environment we're in, this
it
artificial
is, especially
intelligence.
all three of us grew up in the 80s and we remember not any of this stuff. Like it was all conceptual if it was a concept. It was like it was like the future in 2000, we'd have flying cars. That's all we knew. And TVs would be like this big, or maybe they'd fill a wall. I don't know. And they do. But we didn't have any idea like a cell phone would come along or tablets or any, the internet.
Talking to your watch.
Wireless, all over the world and the satellites. And watch, talking to your watch. It's crazy. Date on your watch. And you can find a place to date on your watch. And at what time?
Yep.
So, I guess if I don't know, no one's calling in. It's about 15 after 6. Do either of you have any pieces of advice that maybe any kind of piece of advice that
this is coming out before Valentine's Day, right? So I think a lot of people get frustrated around Valentine's Day and with Valentine's Day, and
true.
Married people do, single people do, people hate it, people get sad. And so I just feel like I want to say a little bit of something about it because
that's cool.
I just feel like people put a lot of pressure on themselves sometimes, single people, because they're like, oh, I don't have a partner for Valentine's Day, and it's not right to put pressure on yourself. And I remember, single not too long ago, and when I first started dating about over 10 years ago, so that's a lot of dates, right? I went to a dating coach because I was just like I was really frustrated with the apps myself, and I couldn't figure out like why I couldn't meet people. And so I went to a dating coach, and one of the women in the group was, she had just met her fiance. They were getting ready to get married. And she had shared that she created a spreadsheet of every date that she went on, and there were over 100. And at first that was like kind of devastating to me. Like, oh my God, I have to date that many people to like find,
I can't imagine 100 men in the city that
right. Like it was just like, oh my God. But then
go out with me.
At the same time, she was very inspiring because like, it was like, if you just never give up, you will find somebody.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I let it inspire me instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
So I started keeping a dating journal. And so every date I went on, I would write about it and how I felt, what it was like, and some of the dates turned out well. Sometimes I liked the guy, he didn't like me back. Sometimes he liked me, I didn't like him. Sometimes it was horrible. Sometimes it was great, and it, but every time I learned something, right? And I look back on all the dates and I'm learning, right? I'm learning about myself. I'm learning about dating. I'm learning about, life and everything.
Yeah, after
And
being
so-
in a marriage for so long. Yeah.
Yeah. So after, 75 plus dates, here I am.
So you only got to 75. You didn't even make
Yeah,
it
it
to
didn't take her that long. They take 100. Not as
Yeah.
big.
And I think I might like someday write a book about all those dates.
Yeah.
I have journals,
I was just thinking when you said that, I was like, that would make a really cool book, like a transcript.
It's like, it's crazy. Like the stuff that I wrote, it's really raw and like,
I bet it is
very emotional and like, just because if you've ever been dating, like it can be devastating.
When I was younger, I remember. Right?
Yeah.
It was devastating sometimes. It was ups and downs.
I wasn't younger. I was in my 40s. Like
I remember when I was younger, and now I'm in my 40s. But like I went from my first husband to my second husband without dating, and then after I left Mikey, I was with Chris very shortly afterwards. A few months later, we just got together there to hang out, and the mead was really good. we just partied too hard, and it was fine. We were just like, whatever happens, but we really have always liked each other. It just wasn't moving, and went on his birthday when I was the last thing he did at 9:15 kind of showed me where I really stood, and that hurt so bad that I was a booty call at the last minute after 2 years of I love yous, that hurt so bad.
My birthday.
But it made you realize where you are now.
Yeah. What'd you say, Jennifer?
I said my birthday is a really big deal to me. My birthday.
Yeah, mine is too. It lasts a month sometimes.
Yeah, it lasts a month for real.
And yeah, I would want to spend it with my boyfriend. I went to see Savvy and Andrew, and we did record a podcast that night, Savvy and Andrew's interview. And they were like, or maybe that was before that, but they were like, why would he? Well, what Andrew said was the guy gets the BJ on the birthday from the girlfriend. So of course he's like, what guy wouldn't spend it with his girlfriend? He's with someone else. I was like, I don't know if he is or not. He really does love his son. He does spend a lot of time with his son. And I was blowing up his phone, but I had a good reason, I thought. And it's just too much crying, and to be the 9:15 phone call. Oh yeah, Riley just left and now you can come. I've been saying you separate me from every part of your life, and I'm not what I thought I was. And I do have that Neptune in the I have Neptune in Scorpio, and I also have Uranus at 0 degrees Scorpio, and they're in the 5th house. So you can just imagine, if you're an astrologer, how chaotic my chemistry life can be. So sexual chemistry, friendship chemistry, relationship chemistries, And it also explains why I have diverse family lives and children with weird, like I'd have stepchildren from different people and, and none of my own. And, so I like an astrologer might look at it. But I do see what I want to see big time. And I'm trying not to do that. And for years, 2 or 3 years, like all of my friends and readers, psychic readers who I go to, Jennifer, Misty, Courtney and Melanie, other people, they use the word discernment for me, that I need to learn discernment. And it's never really clicked what that means, because there's a lot of meanings to that word discernment, and I'm wondering if it has to do with that, the illusions that I see. I see the best in people. I really do. I see.
And you've got to be careful, especially on dating apps. Yeah, you've got to be careful.
Well, I do that anyway, with people. It's not necessarily love related. I do that just in general with people. I see the best of them. And when they aren't that way, it surprises me. And sometimes it pisses me off. And when it's consistent, it really is like confusing, So I've got to get really past the what I want it to be and what it really is and how it can be kind of built upon from there, and see how it goes from there. But it's really hard for me to integrate with another person because I'm an alien. Feel like it. I do feel like I'm very different from most people. I'm not like most women. I have a lot of male interests. And when I was older, I started getting more interested in doing my hair and my makeup and stuff like that. But when I was younger, I really didn't care because I was depressed and it just didn't matter, and I didn't like guys looking at me. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel good, when I dressed up, and it didn't. I was very self-conscious, and it didn't. The vibes were very strong when you're younger, and those hormones, and you're energetic and you don't know that. And you're working with energy, like I was as an empath. I didn't know what those feelings were. And it was terrifying. So I didn't really like to get dressed up or anything. And
it's still terrifying for a lot of adult women too.
True, I can understand that. Yeah, I can understand that. I think the most difficult part for me personally in all the love relationships was being completely and utterly vulnerable. So I never had them. And that might be what has always been at the root of any like seeded issue at the beginning of a relationship. I always keep everybody a little bit arm's length with my heart, you know?
That's called being emotionally unavailable.
No, I'm there. I'm all there. But there's always a little part of me that's always just kind of like, this guy's going to fuck me up. Because they always do.
That's being emotionally
Is it emotionally unavailable?
Yes, because you're holding back a part of yourself.
But I don't want them to have it because you
built a wall there. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it is a wall there. Yeah.
So then they're mirroring that back to you and holding back a part of themselves. So there's always going to be a divide or a wall or a space between you. So yeah, you're going to attract the same type of person.
That's why I'm trying not to. Yeah.
Yeah. So the more vulnerable you could be, the more vulnerable man you're going to attract back.
So what is advice to letting myself be more vulnerable? Because I don't even know how to. The feeling of it. Like I know how to do it. I know how to say it. And I don't know how to feel it. It's kind of like some people have those mixed emotions. Like they laugh at weird moments or like the Joker in the Joker. I used to be like that as a kid, but for example, if I were having a very tender moment with someone and it got too vulnerable, I wouldn't know how to stop that.
Yeah. So the things that helped me, were, when I would like really make a mistake, I would own it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to cover it up.
Yeah.
To try to be this perfect person in front of my boyfriend. Like I would think, oh, wow, I really screwed up. He's going to break up with me over this. And every time I would screw up, I would instead like own up to it. And he'd be like, okay, well, I guess we're going to work through this. And I'd be like, wow, he's not going to get mad. He's not going to break up with me. I'm shocked because I'm showing him what an imperfect person I am. And he still loves me anyway. So that's kind of what was doing it for me, was that in a relationship, I was still showing him all the imperfection and the cracks, and he was loving me anyway. Also like letting the freak flag fly, all the parts that you think are so weird and no one's going to like that. And that's the parts that I was trying to show my boyfriend, like, I love this band that I've been following them for 10 years and nobody knows.
What is it?
And I go to every concert.
What is it?
Like,
what's the band?
The Driver Era.
I have to look that up.
Small LA band. They're like 20 years old, 25 years old. They're way.
Oh, cool.
The demographic is not mine. Okay.
Yeah.
And, but I like go to every concert. I'm a mega fan. I do a meet and greet every single time.
That's awesome.
And I had to like bring my boyfriend into this like weird part of myself because like I'm a mega fan of this weird band. And so I had to like show him that part of me, which I don't really show a lot of people.
Yeah.
And he was into it. He went to the concert.
Cool, man.
We
That's
met
so
them.
cool.
It was great. It was fun. And so like, it's just like the more parts of yourself that you can share, and be vulnerable, it's going to get better and better. Now,
that goes back to deep down stuff where if I showed stuff of myself that even as a child,
other people rejected, right?
Not just rejected, but like you don't tell people that. You do not act that way. You do not say that. You do not think that. You do not feel that. You do not be that way. And it was kind of
drilled how you were raised
from society and how I was raised, but and also from myself, telling myself that because I heard it. You don't tell people. You keep it all private, all secret, all secret. Right. Irish families and very secretive, sort of Polish families, and these families are very Irish Polish. Like first, second generation immigrants. My parents, grandparents, and they carry these values, family values, and they're just like ingrained there. But I could never be really vulnerable with with my mother. I don't think when I was a child, as a child, I didn't really give a shit about anything. It was when I hit 12 and I started like really feeling a lot of the paranoia and stuff like that, and hearing other people's thoughts and feelings and not knowing that's what it was. And thinking that I was having like a million thoughts and I knew all these like perspectives, and I didn't understand what that, I didn't know what the word perspectives, and knowing that I didn't have those words even at 12. You know, I just knew these feelings and emotions and thoughts were happening and I had no idea what to do with it. And if I did try to tell someone, I got shut down. So I mean, that's the root of it. You know, I didn't really tell people. I told my brother one time that I told my brother one time that I used to cut myself in high school, and he said everyone does stuff like that to get attention. I said I didn't tell anyone until I was 21.
Okay, yeah, most people don't. Does that.
No, they don't.
No, most people don't.
No, they don't. My brother.
You know what I found? You know, when I started dating though, is I would do kind of what Jennifer said, and towards the end of my dating period, I would just be like, "Here's the worst of me. Here, just give it to you. You got it. There it is. You know, now you can either run or you can stay, but I'm going to give it to you right at the beginning. And you tell me what you can handle, because if you can't handle me."
What'd you do? What'd you do with Justin? What did you do with Justin? Do you remember?
That's what I did.
I mean, well, can you give us the example? Do you remember what the story was?
Well, yeah. I mean, girl, I've got lots of stories.
Well, the one that was like the big pusher, like the one that you really, really pushed him and you thought maybe he wouldn't take it. And he did, and he accepted you.
I'm not telling all that. No.
I knew she wouldn't get vulnerable. She can be vulnerable with her husband, though, and that's something I can envy.
Yep.
And I'll learn that someday, maybe. Be vulnerable with another human.
I don't know if I'd give a specific example. It's just way too embarrassing.
Yeah.
I know. But
I'm not easily embarrassed.
It did help in the relationship, though. It did. You know, it's kind of what Jennifer was saying. You know, just kind of, this is, you know, my bad things, and this is, but also, you know, here's some of my good things too. And they kind of override some of the bad. So, you know, hey.
Misty, I think your worst. I think your idea of like being your worst is having a frown. Maybe not back then, though. You had been through so much rough stuff, and so many guys who put you through.
Well, see, and that was part of what I had to tell him. You know, this is what I've been through.
Yes,
and, you know, I am damaged.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, if somebody has interest in you and they really care about you, then they'll look behind that and see what else, you know, you have to offer. You know, it's just like getting the worst out of the way.
Yeah.
If that's how you feel about that person, if you have an attraction to that person and you think there's something there, then I think that would be the time to just let it all out.
Now I have a question for you. It's kind of, have you guys ever been in love with two people at once? Some people are three people at once, more than one person. Some people can really be in love with two people at once. I remember one of my relatives at one time had a choice between two men, and it was the one and the best friend, and she picked the best friend, and she doesn't ever regret it. So I was just wondering what you think about that. You know, can you be in love with two people?
I think you can be. I think you can feel love for two people, but one is going to be romantic, passionate love, and the other is going to be a different type of love.
Okay.
Like a friend.
Yeah. I don't think you can put your whole self into, you know, just one person. I mean, that's what you have to do, is put your whole self into one person. I don't think you can do that. You can love two people, but you can't give them all, you know, to only one.
Right. Well, I don't think we're going to have any callers. I think I did actually put the wrong numbers on. Just for a second, I'm going to peek at the event page. Because there were people coming and they were going to call in, but maybe they've got mixed up. This podcast kind of got into just us talking about like our relationships and things we feel in them and how deep they can get. And y'all helped me a lot. And thank you. But bringing it to metaphysics, I was thinking we all have the same romance angels cards. So to do some cards for Valentine's Day for the listeners and the watchers, when they do listen, mine are all kind of scattered. They keep popping out all over the dang place. Misty gave me mine. So listeners, we all have our romance angels deck, right? Bradley Valentine now.
Yep.
My very first card, and I think this one's for me, because it was the very first card I just looked at it. Keep an open mind. And I think that's very important for me to do, is keep an open mind. Because I always think I'm right. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type expectations. And that's what I want. I don't want what I have had in the past. So, Misty, pull yourself an advice card. That's what
Yeah, let me find mine. I thought I had.
I'm not always right. I do have that. And that is something I will do in relationships. You know, I want to be right, but I will back down always because they have to be more right, usually. Oh, you got your card, Jennifer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you go.
Mine says, express your love.
Oh.
Go ahead and make the romantic gesture.
Oh.
I feel like I'm kind of wondering what this is about, because I feel like I do. Maybe not enough. Maybe I don't tell him enough. Because, yeah.
Yeah. I tell too much.
He kissed me goodbye this morning, and then I went over to the sink, and then he kissed me goodbye again. And I said, you already kissed me goodbye. And he was like, no, I just want to do it again. And I was like, okay. And then we happened to go downstairs, and then I was going to like make myself a cup of coffee. And then he kissed me goodbye again. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I was kind of confused. Like,
I'm like that. I'm real cuddly and kissy and snuggly when I feel away. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not normal. Like, usually it's like he's in a hurry in the morning and he kisses me goodbye and leaves.
Aww.
So like I was kind of like, this is odd.
What was the night before, especially? Like, did you have a special time the night before or anything? Or
yeah, the night before was date night, and we had our date night. We went to Disneyland.
Yeah. We felt close to you. You felt
yeah. So maybe I'm not expressing myself enough.
Yeah. What about you, Misty? What's your message for yourself?
I'm just gonna grab one of these other decks. I can't find that deck.
Oh, okay. She's always good with her oracle deck. She can.
I have so many decks.
Just give herself advice. This is your advice to yourself, Misty. And then we can advice for the listeners.
Well, it looks like I need to quit self-doubting myself, because that can cause confusion in my relationship.
Yeah.
And I need to learn more about free will. That's what it sounds like in my relationship.
Yeah.
Because, I think we all get a little bit of self-doubt.
Definitely.
I'm going to say this. Maybe I shouldn't say this.
Yeah.
Maybe, like you said, why are you telling me you love me?
I second guess myself. Yeah.
You're self-doubting too,
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't do that as much in my relationship.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting.
I like all these. These are really good. So I guess now we have 3 more cards. We'll do these as though people had called in. And I'm going to pull a random card here. This is for you, listener. And I feel like you have a cat who is orange. And maybe you used to have a white cat that you loved. And you're in a relationship with someone who's not talking to you right now. And I get children. Your love life is being affected by children. This can mean a lot of different things for, a lot of different people. But so for you, if this makes sense to you, the information about the cats came from my spirit guide, or whoever this may be for. And the impression I'm getting is when I see this one, it doesn't mean it's like, it's not a problem. It's more of, there's 2 sides to this. There's one person wanting a child and one person not sometimes. And sometimes the children just kind of take over the relationship at certain ages. And if that's the case with someone, they get older and they get fascinating. They do get older and they won't be the life of the relationship as much, and I think it's really important for people who raise children to remember that the children go away someday and you'll be alone again, and keep that friendship strong and, make the children not be the priority. I mean, they are the priority in a lot of ways, but not to the relationship to each other, in my opinion, should be more important than the relationship to the children. Because
strongly believe that the marriage comes before the
me
children.
too. Me too.
It should. Yeah, definitely.
I agree
I
with
believe
that.
as well.
I agree with
Yeah,
Because
and your
what do you
children
have
will
in the
see
end?
that too. Your children will model it.
Yes, they will.
Mhm.
Yes, they will. Okay, you guys got advice for a listener? Did you get any?
This is gonna be. I shuffled the deck. It's so weird. I get the same card that I just pulled for myself, the Express Your Love card, and I was like, "What? I just shuffled the deck. Like, I don't know how. There's 44 cards. I don't know how I got the same card. It just kind of like resonated to me again. So I don't know. This might be for somebody else that has the same kind of issue that I just described, that you're not sharing enough with your partner how you feel. Or, maybe you have a wall up that you need to be more vulnerable. I hear Claire or Clara or Carrie. So if that's your name, this is definitely for you. But I feel like definitely for Valentine's Day, make a big romantic gesture, like do the thing, light the candles, make dinner, whatever, put on the sexy lingerie, like be the romantic one, because I feel like your partner will really appreciate it, that you took the extra step. I know that, it's usually up to the men to like, he's supposed to do all the things for Valentine's Day, but maybe in this instance, he would really appreciate that you are expressing your love if you made him a Valentine card that you made out of paper and glue and wrote stuff. And that would be a huge like gesture, I feel. Yeah.
I love that. That's really beautiful. Now it's your turn, Misty.
Alrighty. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I've got the transformation card.
Oh.
And so I'm thinking there's a male out there that is really going through some stuff right now with a breakup. And he's realizing that this is over and, it's just all come crashing down on him. And, but the thing about it is this is going to be life changing for him. After he gets through this heartache and starts to heal himself, he will find the love of his life. But you just got to hang in there until then.
Healing yourself. Need some really
go through it.
Go through it.
Yeah.
And then homework for Valentine's Day. If you don't have a date, kiss your cat or dog, or pet a cat or a dog or a bird or a snake or a tarantula for Mr. Nathan out there. And that was.
You can also download a love meditation on my website. It's thejenniferlove.com. You just go to thejenniferlove.com. There's a free love meditation on my website.
I'll put it in the description of the podcast too.
Yeah.
And for me, expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected for Valentine's Day. And I like Jennifer's advice. Do something a little special for your someone if you don't usually. And if you usually go overboard, I'm one who goes overboard a lot. Don't expect it back. I don't ever expect it back.
Don't have expectations.
When I was younger, I did. But now that I'm, like after I was like older, I was like, no, I just do it. I just do it big, and if you do it big, you don't go, it doesn't have, it's not to get it back. It's to give it out and get them to see them go, ooh, that's all it does.
Show love. It's all about love.
It's sharing it. Yeah. And if you like sushi and you do that, have a salmon sushi for me because I like the salmon sushi. And I guess with that, listeners and watchers, we hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. And thank you, Jennifer.
Yes,
thank
Jennifer.
you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Ooh,
thank you, listeners.
Thank you, listeners and watchers. We love you. And thank you, Everclear. Everclear is our sponsor. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. I am Lisa P on there, Leesa, letter P, and I'm an advisor. And Jennifer, you are too, right? Jennifer L?
Yeah, Jennifer L. Mm-hmm.
And your website is thejenniferlove.com. The Jennifer Love.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
She says there's another Jennifer Love out there. And she says she's into what is cosmetics, or what did you say she does?
No, she does like some kind of wealth management.
Wealth management. Yeah, you'd think that with that love name, it'd be love, like you. So you had to go with love.
I don't know.
I love it. And Rustic Psychic School, we have one class available for streaming. It's $30, Intro to Palmistry class. I highly recommend listening to the Palmistry podcast. It's free before you take that class if you decide to do it. And thank you always for watching and listening. And have a great time. Peace out.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.